Hey, what's up, y'all? This Mill.
It's your boy Trell, your local baby daddy. And this is
Ego Aside. Today is a very special episode.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. First official guest.
A very special, very special guest. You know, we appreciate this guest very much.
Yes, indeed. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Always offering and spreading love and useful knowledge. We're going to shoot it over to the good sister, my big sister, Sister Janiyah. Go ahead, tell them who you are.
Hey guys, it's Janiyah. I'm from DC, born and raised. And that's all I got for y'all until we get more tuned to the show.
Cool. Let's get right into the People's Choice. The People's Choice, somebody asked about, and we can all speak on this because we're all in the military, speaking about our transition from civilian life to the military, why you joined and how it affected your life, you know, because people that are civilians don't really understand. Why would you join the military? What'd you do it for? How it affect you, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
You being our special guest today, just let us know.
I'll definitely start. Growing up in DC in the urban community, it was a lot. It took a toll on all of us. So I think I so much as jumped at the opportunity because I was going to a military academy from 7th to 12th grade. And also, I was ready to get away from my family. If we can just keep it a being.
Keep it real. Keep it real.
I was tired of them. I was ready to get away. I was ready to get on my own. My dad wouldn't let me work because he was too focused on my academics. So at the chance of, you know, living that life or jumping into adulthood, I jumped at it as quick as I can. And I got out of the house and I moved on quickly.
How do you feel like since you made that decision to join, how it affected you, how you changed?
It definitely made me grow up a lot quicker. It made me mature a lot quicker than I, imagined. But I don't regret it at all.
Yeah, I feel you. Let me send to you, Trell, the local baby father.
Hey,
there we go.
Well,
why
the
you
name speaks for itself.
Okay.
No.
So, I had my daughter young, man. Right after graduating high school, my daughter was born that September in 2014. I spent civilian life a year after I graduated. And I originally was going to the Navy, actually.
Boo.
Yeah, so I was originally going
How
to
did
the
you
Navy.
do that?
They was procrastinating, man. They was just taking too time. I think because at that time, my daughter's mom, her father was in the Navy at the time, so he was the one talking to me about military, being a dad, what you gonna do, for the child and everything like that. Military is a secure career and everything.
Yeah, of course.
So the Navy was originally who I talked to, but they was taking too long. So I went to the Army right next door, and they got me out in 30 days. No exaggeration.
They'll do it.
And it would have been quicker, if it wasn't for me having to go see a dermatologist or whatever because I have eczema. But it was quick, man. My family is really anti-military.
Really?
When I told them I was joining, they was not for it at all. They had the old school mindset that the military was not for black people. You know what I'm saying? Especially my grandma, she was not feeling it.
Yeah.
They was not feeling it at all. They all expected me to go to school because I was pretty good in school. So they all expected me, once I graduated, that I was going to be going to school. I got accepted in college, but realistically, that's not where I wanted to be because I had a child to look after.
Right.
And at that point, it's being in debt and having to barely survive and do these different things. I seen what the college life could do, and I didn't want to put my daughter through that. And now that I think about it, I don't even think I really wanted to go to college because I'm not in school now.
Right.
College doesn't really
guarantee
anything. If I do want to go to school now, but I would have made a mistake of going to a PWI when really I would have preferred a HBCU. So now, once I get out the military and everything, I definitely plan on applying to a HBCU. Going to school in that sense. And that's I feel is a different environment for me and it's for me. But at that time, I felt like I would have been making a mistake going to college anyway. I always been good in school. That wasn't the problem. But at that time, that was not the best decision with being a young father and trying to take care of my daughter.
For sure.
So, next question. How do you feel like that evolved you as a human being, as a man, for real? your experience in the military.
It definitely played a big part.
Right.
I don't think I would be where I am now if it wasn't for the military, or it would have been a slower process.
Right.
You know, it would have took more time to get to the point to where I'm at now. And I'm not perfect or anything like that, but it definitely molded me and taught me things. I was blessed to get a lot of great mentors and a lot of great leadership to teach me and to show me the way and how to move and how to maneuver without compromising who I am internally. So that was a good thing. So what about you, man?
That's a big part, not compromising.
No, you ain't finna keep asking questions. Why did you join the military?
Bro, I was wilding for real, and I really felt like I ain't have nowhere. Like, I didn't do good in school. I was smart, but I didn't do good at school at all. So I felt like I had nowhere to go. I was just doing dumb stuff. I kept getting booked. Like you said, you was doing the Navy. I wanted to go to the Air Force because my aunt's little sister, big sister, little sister program, her little sister's in the Air Force and doing good. And she was like, don't join the Army, Mill, don't join the Army. But the Air Force wouldn't take me with all my...
That's what everybody
told me the same thing too.
The Army.
My sister, E7 right now, National Guard in DC, don't do it.
It's so crazy.
And I was like, I'm doing. I want to do.
That's what you...
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Damn, they shooting.
It's an earthquake. It's an earthquake.
They shooting over there.
In North Carolina, we had an earthquake.
But
Coming to you live.
Nonetheless, they didn't let me join. So I knew my recruiter that put me in for a long time. He just never gave up on me. Like, he never gave up on me. Once it was a situation that happened with me and one of my best friends, shout out Don, Free Don. You dig what I'm saying?
Free Don.
You dig what I'm saying? And it was that situation and a lot of stuff I seen happen. I was like, I just gotta leave. I need a new environment because in this environment, I feel like I'm destined to go down a path of destruction instead of righteousness for real. So I needed a refresher. And how it affected me. I feel like I changed all the way. People, I be going back home, they be like, "Oh, Mill, you different." I'm like, "I'm the same dude." Yeah. So people that really know me. They be like, "Bro, you the same. Ain't nothing changed."
Yeah.
That's never going to change.
Just learn how to maneuver better.
Yeah, you just move different now.
Yeah.
And that's how I want to do it. I want to take what I know from the military and apply it back to my community to be able to learn, like the militants, like in the organization of it, to give it back to people that's still in the streets so they can move better and move effectively and transition themselves into a better lifestyle too.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy because my daughter, I was on FaceTime with her and she was like, I want to join the Army. I said, no, you don't.
No, ma'am.
No, you do not.
No,
like,
ma'am.
you know, and that's what's so crazy because it really put a lot of things into perspective as far as me making the decision to get ready to get out and everything. Because it does make me see that my daughter does pay attention to what I do.
She looks up to you.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like I don't want her to think that.
Keep going, bro. I got you.
I don't want her to think that the Army is the best way for her to achieve what she needs to achieve.
Yeah.
I did it so she doesn't have to.
do it. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And neither does my son. You know what I mean? So I don't want them to think that this is the route they have to take in order to achieve. So with that being said, right? Like, and I'm gonna take it to you since you my guest now.
Everything goes straight to you first.
Sheesh.
As far as being a minority, we can't speak for all minorities, right?
For sure.
We can definitely give an outlook, and especially with you being a black woman in the military.
Oh yeah.
How, even though y'all just got a big win, y'all just got a big win.
A win.
You know, but how difficult was it maneuvering? You know, through the ranks, through the military.
Wait, hold on. Speaking of rank, let's shout out to Naya for graduating ALC.
Yes, sir.
Military people gonna know what that means, but y'all might not know it.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Shout out.
Okay.
ALC is the next step.
Okay. Being black in the military is one thing, and then being a black woman in the military is different. So it's like we always have to fight to show our superiority or to show how equal we are and to show how we're willing to stand up. But, you know, you see the face, you see the rank, you see the color, you know, it's automatically we're not going to take you serious.
Right.
So it's like we have to step up to the pole 10 times as more as anybody else would. And you know, it's kind of draining and it's kind of annoying, but we're so used to doing that as black women.
Right.
And then black women in the military. So I feel like we're always up for the challenge. And I went through a little bit. I've went through a little people, doubting who I was just based off, my background. But, you got to prove them wrong.
Right.
We know what we're stepping against when it comes to being black in the military. So I feel like we go into it with that mindset. Like, I got to prove people wrong. I have to do this. I have to do that. And we're used to it. No, it's not fair, but just the cards we were dealt. And I feel like as black women, as black people, we're always up for the task.
Always up for the task.
So I know a lot of times, like, black females always say that black leadership is always harder on black females. So is that a real thing? And do you think that it's because they want to see you succeed, or do you think that it's more hateful? Because me being a black man, I think a lot of the times the black male leadership, it's like, I don't want you to surpass me. It's very few times that you see black leadership like coming to you on the way of trying to give you knowledge and help you grow.
Okay.
Rather than, and I feel like that's on the black man side. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
I done met a lot of great black leadership that'll give me the game, tell me how to move without compromising myself, like I said earlier.
Got it.
But I feel like women feel like black women be coming down on them.
Trell, I think that it just depends on the person.
Right.
Because we have a lot of old leaders that they don't want to get out. They're holding on by a thread. And then it's just like us newly promoted E5s and E6s. It's just like, step out the way. We're coming through. Like, make way for me. Like, old generation out, new generation in. And I think a lot of them cannot let go of the perceptive of the old army, or what we used to be, or we used to wear BDUs and we used to do this, but it's a whole new army. So it's just like, step aside and let us take over.
And we come in hard.
We got
too.
you. And it's not like we're not BSing.
Yeah, like,
we come in soldiers ready, NCOs ready, officers and senior NCOs by our side, and it's just like, who can stop us? But I feel like it's those people who make it hard for us. And I don't think that I don't think that they doubt us, but I think that they're so stuck on old army this, old army that. It's 2021.
Yeah, I think it's really because
just let it go.
What they had to go through.
Yeah, what they had to go through, they not really to
way hard.
Yeah,
and they get upset that we don't have to go through that.
I got one more question though, Naya.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like, now you in that role of that black female leader, and you got E1s coming in. You about to be an E6, and you moving up the ranks. I don't know if y'all know, whoever watching, but we all high speed as well.
For sure. For sure.
We all high speed. We all secondary zone, moving up the rank, fast tracking. But what would you
primary
say?
Yeah, I just hit primary. He's secondary.
Primary.
I just hit primary. November of last year. Thank you.
But what would you? So, like, now that you in that black female leadership in the military, and you got a lot of young women that's going to come under you, black women in general, either or. What advice would you offer to that young sister from the trenches in DC that's trying to join too?
My advice from women from my hometown and women all across the globe in my position or my future position: don't give up. Don't let anybody discourage you. Don't let anybody's mishaps or don't let anybody projecting, discourage you. Don't let them make you feel like you can't, because in all actuality, in all reality, you can.
I like that.
Take that hurt, take that trauma, take those past experiences and let them fuel you.
Right.
Let them fuel you to be the best version of yourself. And that's all I got, Mill.
All right. With that, I want to bring up this book because it reminded me of what the topic we was going to speak on today. Okay. Spook Who Sat by the Door. This is a good book right here. Matter of fact, Nipsey Hussle said this was going to be the name of his last album, and he was actually murdered 2 years ago today. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle.
On the anniversary, rest in peace.
You know what I'm saying?
Big Nip.
But Spook Who Sat by the Door is about this dude named Dan Freeman, and he joined the CIA. He from the trenches in Chicago, and he's really smart, but he plays the fool. Just like we watch Naruto, right?
Yeah,
like you know how Jiraiya plays the fool.
Yeah.
Whole time he the smartest one. He know everything that's going. But since people think he's a fool, he's really out. He's really out thinking them, outsmarting them, and getting intel from them. So that's the type of role he played. But his goal was to take his role in the CIA and be able to use that to build up, take gangs and turn them into freedom fighters in Chicago in the trenches and uplift the trenches. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think that's a big part of when you join the industry, something that's bigger than you, that you don't change your moral integrity towards the thoughts and beliefs of that system, and you stay true to yourself. And we see a lot of people lose what's true to them in the military.
Right.
You know what I mean? Has it ever been a time for either one of y'all, whichever one of y'all want to jump on first, where you felt like you was losing a bit of yourself being a part of it?
I can't say that I have, honestly. And that's just me being completely honest.
Have you seen other brothers lose themselves?
Yes.
Right. Most
definitely. I mean, it's competitive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it feels like with being a black man, it's only a certain number that they will accept. You get it? So when we going through the things that we're going through, we trying to progress, we trying to move forward, we trying to get promoted. It seems like if it's too many black people in general, then he could stop me from getting my promotion.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So but it's not a healthy competitiveness.
It's not healthy at all.
You know, it's not, what you done did this time to move forward. You know, it's more so of, I'm not gonna tell you what I did to get more points because
for real though,
for sure,
that could put you ahead of me. You get, like with me, I love getting free game. Like I'm gonna get free game regardless of anything. You know, not to brag, but I got promoted pretty fast.
You gave me free game.
You know, you did.
Like
fast.
I got promoted in like 2 years and 6 months
because of people like him. Like for when I met you, Wig, I was. Well, I still E3?
PFC.
I was PFC, and we was in the book club. It's like, you gotta go to the P board. You gotta do this. You gotta do this. You gotta do this stuff that my own NCOs and stuff not like telling me and stuff. But you offering me the game and give me guidance along with you and other people that I know from the book club and just knowing from the career rather than work.
Right.
And y'all helped me progress and move on. But I wasn't getting that from people that was in my actual union leadership.
For sure. Like and I feel like that harps on, what I said previously as far as they don't want to make way for the new generation.
Right. So to get you to understand, like to get y'all to understand, so in the military you got different MOSs. Different MOSs, it takes a different amount of points to get promoted.
MOS is a job.
If you have a certain E5 that's in a position, that's a sergeant. So if you have a certain E5 that's in a position, points being high for the longest. Mm-hmm. So they don't want it to where this E4 gets promoted, on easy points or whatever the case may be.
Right.
So it's like a point scale.
They
don't want to put you in a position to where you could be competing with them. Because they've been waiting forever to get to the next rank of E6.
That's their fault, though.
That's their fault.
That's their fault.
And they project a lot on you.
And they projected on their soldiers instead of building their soldiers. To me, like I want all my soldiers to be the same rank as me. Because that means I did what I was supposed to.
Right.
You can't help the point system. I have a big saying that I tell to all my soldiers I ever came in contact with. What you can control. What you can't, you change your attitude about it. Mm-hmm. Everything that you can control and getting points and making points and standing out, you do that. And once you know that you have done everything in your control, in my personal opinion, everything else will just come naturally.
It'll fall in line.
It'll just fall in line because I did what I was supposed to. Because you don't want to be in a position, especially in the military, you don't want to be in a position to where you didn't do everything that you could have, and then now the opportunity has presented itself to where you could have got promoted, but you're not because I didn't make the extra steps.
And you didn't
to do what I could have done.
Got you.
So that's a big thing to pay attention, and that's in anything, in any job.
Right.
Apply what you can in order to be effective for when the opportunity presents itself, you're able to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Instead of like, damn, if I would have did this.
Right. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, but I didn't.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying?
I got a backup question too, right?
Okay.
So we can't stay in the military forever. Even though some people try. I know people 30 years in. but you can't stay in the military forever. And another. So this was during the time of like integration and all that stuff was going on, and like moving on past integration. And they set the story in that timeline, like late 60s, early 70s, and stuff like that. But the question that I had was, when you leave the military, would you move back to your hometown, or would you just try to search for a new life elsewhere? I'm gonna start with you.
Would I move back to my hometown? Absolutely not.
Okay.
The cost of living is extremely too high. I'm from Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C.
I was about to say, what did you say the first time?
Yeah, I stumbled a little bit. But the cost of living is extremely high there. But if I had the resources and the money to start, youth programs and, just so people and younger generations wouldn't have to endure what I've endured, I would definitely put my money there.
Right.
I would put my money there because there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of knowledge there, but they don't have people fighting for them. They don't have people in their corner. So I feel like, if I had the bread, I would definitely do that. But as far as me moving there, no. Businesses, yes.
Okay, that's smooth. Because not everybody needs to be on the front lines. We need finances to the movement and stuff like that.
Right.
Of course,
just try to change
for
the
sure.
communities. So P-Cola.
P-Cola.
P-Cola, you going back when you dip, or what's going on? Would you move back?
I'm gonna tell you something about Pensacola. Pensacola is a very talented city. Very, like, artists, athletes, you name it, artists, whatever the case may be. But because Pensacola is so small, and it's one of those cities to where you have to grow outside of it and then come back. And when I say grow outside of it, I mean in the sense of you have to build your name up to a point to where when you come back, now they listening to what you got to say. You get what I'm saying? So you have to be in a position to where you can really put people in a good position. You can really open up those communities, start those programs that's going to build your community to the point to where the young kids don't have to go through what you had to go through. They can grow within their city and still be great. Right. Because it's just like playing sports, right? Nobody is listening to the person on the bench trying to get a motivational speech on how we can win this game. If you're not playing in the game, you can't motivate us on how we can win it.
They're not gonna listen.
They're not gonna listen. So with Pensacola, it's kind of the same way. You have to step outside or, be popping in the city,
right,
in order for people to support. Now, don't get me wrong, it has gotten a lot better with the newer generation coming through. I have seen the most support I have ever seen within the city. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of people within my city is doing a lot of great things. Too many to name, to be honest.
Right.
But for the things that I want to do, the changes that I want to make throughout the community, I'm going to have to build my name on the outskirts.
I dig what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying? And then come back.
Show love. Right.
As much as I can. And that's never been out of the question.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's always been the plan to build myself as much as I can to be able to come back to where I can go to the high schools and give motivational speeches and talk about what I went through and how I accomplished this and how I accomplished that. You get that's something that I definitely plan on doing, and I don't think it's going to take long. I think I'm going to be doing that before I turn 30. You get what I'm saying? But I have to do what I need to outside of the city and then come back in and show, hey, this is how we get it done. And team up with anybody that's ready to team up. It's not, I don't want it to just be a me thing. I want it to be, it's a lot of us from our city trying to make our city better. But I don't see myself moving back to Pensacola.
Right, fresh out. So
not fresh out. I don't see myself moving back there. For one, it's not yet. It's not a lot of opportunities there.
I'm moving back.
I was just about to ask you, what about you in Baltimore, man?
But you from a big city though.
It's not a big city. We only have like less. Well, we smaller. We getting smaller and smaller. We like working almost under 600,000 citizens for real.
Really?
And it's real population dense. That's why it's real like a big
popular.
City. Yeah, like
Baltimore is popular.
We different. We're a very exceptional city. You dig what I'm saying? The greatest city in America. That's our slogan. Charm City. You dig what I'm saying? Baltimore.
Yeah, sure.
You know, everywhere we go, we get a certain. But I ain't gonna get to it. Into that. You know,
just kidding.
Speaking of Baltimore, shout out to the small black business inside of Baltimore. Shout out to
Love Baltimore. They got the best crab cakes I ever tasted.
I ain't been there yet, but it ain't far.
You gotta go, man.
Ain't no going.
Best crab cakes ever.
But back to it. I'm going back to Baltimore because, like you said, like you gotta have a certain voice, I wouldn't say in my whole city, like I'm that. But in my neighborhood, I have a presence. You know what I mean? I try to work small in my neighborhood to talk to the young brothers that's coming up, to try to speak some light into them and be like, bro, I've been there. But they didn't. But when I was doing that, whatever they was doing, they probably was in middle school or something like that, so they didn't see. But they look at me as somebody that's just coming back around that probably went to school, did good, joined the army as a good guy. But they don't know the real.
Real tea.
But I come back and try to show love, and like when I get out, I'm trying to go right back there. I might not live in that same area. I'm not moving back to the same hood. That's crazy. You know what I mean? But I want to build from within.
Well, like on the outskirts.
Yeah, not in the outskirts of the city, but just in a different neighborhood. But be able to come close enough to speak to the brothers, because like a lot of people like, oh yeah, they banging or they shooting or they doing this and that. A lot of people want better for themselves. Like a lot of young brothers I talk to, they want better for themselves. I was talking to a young brother the other day. He's like, bro, man, like I know I'm doing wrong, but my girl just texted me and told me she pregnant. She took 3 pregnancy tests. I'm trying to be better for my this child I got on the way.
Right.
They want better, but they need somebody to look up to, and I want to move back because I'm young and they still can relate to me. So if everybody that make it out the city and do good for themselves move out and try to be second class citizens in a middle class community where they struggling to pay bills and trying to move here and do that, who going to be left over in the hood to talk to the children, the kids, the people that's coming up? And that's where I want to be at, because I can talk to them, I can relate to them, because all my OGs now, they done transitioned over to legal stuff. Like shout out to G and Love, y'all know who y'all is. Like they like corporate dudes, but I know what they was into, but they still came back around and showed me, Don, Tay-Man, all us love. Free Tay-Man too. But they showed all us love and gave us free game to show us it's a different way of thinking. It's a different way to move. So, well, hell yeah, I'm moving right back. As soon as I get out, I'm moving right back. And that's when I can really put forth what I want to do inside my city, especially in my neighborhood.
So do you feel like you have to move back to do those things?
Me personally, the way I move, yeah, because I don't like social media. Like, hey, like I can't talk right to a camera. I don't be looking at the camera on here too much. Do I be looking at the camera like that?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, but I don't be looking. It's just weird. But I want to be boots on ground, hands on with the people, so they can really feel me. You know, if I put something on IG, they might like it. They might understand it. Like I got a lot of brothers that young brothers I be talking to through IG. Like my cousin, my / godmother, she a probation officer. She be sending me a lot of her kids that she be talking to. I be chopping up with them, showing you could do this, bro. You could do this. You don't gotta join the army. That's what I did. That was my way to get out. But you don't gotta do that. I can put you on with something. I know somebody that got a job somewhere for you, or you can get this. How you get your record clean. This set of programs for you. But
do you think that's the most effective way though? Because and the reason why I say that is, you know, like especially like in big cities like that, right? Even though you say it's small, Baltimore is considered a big city. There's a lot of haters. You get what I'm saying? So they see you. Yeah, you can say that, but the realism of it is they there.
But so you know they're there.
Yeah,
I know they're there.
But I'm saying though, like you still having to, even with you doing the right thing, you still gotta watch how you move.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So do you really think that moving back is the most effective way? Because even with, you know what I'm saying, what we talking about, that's why a lot of people do it from a distance. You get what I'm saying? They do pop-ups, they come there, you know what I'm saying? And it still can be effective, but they have to keep their distance from the city, whatever, because everybody, and it's mostly old heads, or somebody move that you affecting that's hating on it.
Facts.
And at that time, and you know, the podcast is called Ego Aside. You can say how you moving or who you is or whatever the case may be. They don't care.
They don't.
So do you really feel like that's the most effective way to move there immediately? immediately after.
I feel like it might not be, and that might be my ego, or like something. Like I remember I was talking to somebody, they were like, "That's gonna be a downfall." You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a downfall. Your attachment to your city, for real. I looked at it the opposite. I feel like my attachment to my city is my battery on my back. It's what keep me going, what keep me pushing. But in that situation, like Gil Scott Heron got the poem. It's like home is where the hurt is. Home is where the hate is. So
For sure.
I feel like there's no special case for nobody. I can't be like, oh, I'm different. I'm built different.
Yeah.
Because it is hate. I know it's a couple people that's from Baltimore that still don't like me. That still be hating on me.
So this is
bitch ass nigga.
So to change the question up.
Drag.
Yeah, let's cut that off.
Big drag.
And that's what I'm talking about. But would you know it's time for me to leave?
Yeah.
I will hope.
I don't, bro. Because you know I spent all my leave back home, bro.
But that's what I'm just saying is like you have to know, you have to be aware and know, okay, it's time for me to go.
Right.
I'm
not there yet.
Still be effective, but it's time for me to go.
Right.
In order for me to be able to continue to do what I want to accomplish here in this city, in my city where I'm from.
Right.
So, you can walk about it, talk about it, but sometimes. And I hate that we named this because it comes up a lot. But ego aside, you know what I'm saying?
You have to chill out.
You gotta let that go and realize what the big picture is. The big picture is about making a change for generations to come.
Right.
Not just symbolic nothingness.
Yeah, I don't fuck with that shit.
Exactly.
Not nothingness.
Yeah, symbolic
Nothingness.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's about creating a long-term change to where my name is not just ringing for a moment, because we live in a generation of short attention spans.
Right.
1 minute you pop in, the next minute we don't care what you doing.
Like King Von, bro, he ain't been dead a whole year, bro. They forgot all about him.
But I don't think they forgot about him.
They forgot about him. But at least not on Twitter.
He ain't buzzing. Like he on Twitter right now because the dude that you know what I mean. Just came home talking about nigga Kill ain't dead. No with no RP shirt. He dragging. Yeah, but you know what I mean. But I don't know. Yeah, that's something I gotta realize. Bro, I do have a strong attachment to my city, and people might say that I might get like my first time back home on HBO and AIT. Me, Don, say, man, we almost got into it and almost got hit for real. And I was like, oh, shit, I might.
We're going to cut that.
Not hit. I mean, that's real.
It's okay, just let it go.
All right, let's move on. Yeah, let's go to your segment. Let's go to your segment.
We're not
let's adjust
about that.
Okay, what's next,
What you got for us, Trell?
All right. So, I be saying what's on my mind, saying how I feel. I don't really hold my tongue too much, not too many times. Both of you can relate to that.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So, Toya, go ahead and hit him with it, please.
I don't understand. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
So, today, what I want to talk about, what I want you guys input on.
Okay.
Let me look at the camera because Mel say, I don't need to look at him when I'm talking.
Yeah, don't look at me.
Don't look at him. Okay. So this is my thing, right? If you're in a relationship, and it so what made this come to my mind, right? I seen like all the things that's been going on for like the past 2 weeks with celebrity relationships, and that got nothing to do with it, right? But in the same token, a lot of times why the relationship is not working, why y'all can't move forward, is because you're listening to respond instead of listening to hear what the fuck they are saying.
I love that.
You get what I'm saying? And I can say that from experience. Like, a lot of times the reason why you can't move forward, why the relationship ends up ending, why the female may end up cheating or the male may end up cheating, whatever the case may be, is because you get into a situation of when they try to explain to you how they felt, you was listening to respond, but you was not listening to hear what the hell they were saying and what they really had a problem with.
Let me tap into this.
So how y'all
Let me tap into it real quick, bro. I feel you, bro. Because you know what that is, bro? Versus ego. Because your ego fighting like, no, I don't be doing that. I'm not even really listening to what they saying. Because I be doing, I'm like, yo, she don't know what she's talking about. She don't know what she's talking about. But you really got to listen. Like you said, you got to hear it out.
Right.
Because if nobody's listening to each other and y'all just spewing the same point, back and forth, same point, you saying the same stuff, it's just like a Venn diagram with nothing in the fucking middle.
Right.
No common agreement. You're never gonna end. It's never gonna come to a good end, or it's gonna be just over. It's gonna be split. Like, if you going back and forth, you're not trying to listen to what the other person is saying, then it's no point in going back and forth. That's why I don't like to argue. Because I'm like, let's not have an argument. Because you're not listening to what I'm saying. Because now we're emotional, then we get angry, then we say some shit we don't mean. Then after that, we don't talk for probably like how many months? And then you text me on some toxic shit on Instagram, talking about you want to be mentioned in every episode.
Right.
Oh, shit.
Oh. Was not expecting
I'm dragging, dummy.
Yeah, you big dragon.
Let's cut that out.
But
that's real shit, though.
Can I be excused?
Go ahead, Naya. What you got on that?
what you got on that?
I feel like that's literally a point of effective communication.
Right.
Because you're not listening to respond, you're listening to understand. And I think a lot of us get into our own heads and we get into our feelings, as we will call it, and then we just start talking.
Right.
We don't even hear the other person out. We don't understand. And I think a lot of us don't understand that there's a difference in perspective. Everybody does not respond the same. Everybody does not accept things the same. You know, it may be different. You may perceive something this way, and I may perceive it another way. And maybe we can teach each other something, but instead, it's just like you said, a battle of ego, a battle of conscience, a battle of whatever is in the mix.
I'm right, you wrong.
And then, yeah, of course. Yeah. And then we're going back and forth, but then we're missing the whole entire concept. We're missing the point of you understanding me and me understanding you, and us coming to a mutual consensus. We miss the whole perspective, and then everything just goes out the window.
Now,
silence.
Since you mentioned that, like the concept, right? I feel like another big problem that stands out is not understanding the principle of why something has been brought up. Because a lot of times it's not even that it's a big deal.
Wait, hold up.
One question.
You because that.
Because I was like, I almost passed out. Okay, so can we take into consideration that everybody's principality may not be the same?
Okay, different opinion. Okay,
and my thing is, are we open to understanding that you were not raised the same, you did not come from the same background, so maybe we don't understand things the same, but maybe if you let me in a little something, I may be right along the lines with you.
Right.
Stop. Go. Let's go for that.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. Even with understanding that we don't come from the same place, we may not be raised the same way. You get what I'm saying? Different cultural difference. Even though with us both being black or whatever the case may be, it's still
a common ground.
It's still a common ground.
Okay.
Understand that I'm bringing this up because it meant something to me, not because you wasn't raised the same way.
Stop. Common ground, what you got? Go.
No, you finna get in on this too.
But I think if we going toe tag with Mill, I'm good. But my thing is that you have to address those things because we are all not the same.
Right.
Where are you from?
I'm from Florida.
And where am I from?
DC.
Where are you from?
Greatest city in America.
We're all different.
Here we go.
We all have different cultural background. We all have different perspectives of principality. What's you should know this, X, Y, and Z. May not be my same. It may not be Mill's same.
Right. So
those concepts may not be the same. So you can't get upset if someone does not move the way you move, or they don't understand the same thing you understand, because like I said, their principality may be solely different.
I feel like sometimes you can't reach a common ground because
when it comes to baseline, yes, of course.
I got a close friend, and me and her argue every time about absolutely nothing. Right. Nothingness. Symbolic. Nothing burger. Big ass
nothing burger.
And I just be like, bro, like, I just said what's up. It's like, but the way you said it like this, and then we end up arguing about dumb stuff. We could argue about turtles, bro. And it's just like, there's no common ground where we can just be like, oh yeah, you're right. You right. Let's take that, like the Venn diagram thing.
Right.
Differences, alikes, and just find a common ground.
Yeah.
But we can't do that, bro. Some people just. I think it's. I got a big ego, bro. Especially when I get into the. You know, me and you be getting into it, bro. Yeah. Like when we like last night. Getting into it. But it's just like I think me like I don't know. I think I met my match when it comes to like getting into an argument when it comes to her, because we be getting into about everything.
Yeah.
You know who you is, yo. You know what I mean? It's just like sometimes you're never gonna find that common ground with somebody. You just be like.
But see, that's the thing though. I think, in my opinion, regardless if we come from different places, right? I'm bringing it up.
Right.
You don't have to be raised the way that I'm raised. You don't have to be where I'm from. I'm bringing it up. So I'm bringing acknowledgement to you that I have a problem with it. You get what I'm saying? Right. So if I'm bringing to you that I have a problem with it, then at some point you have to understand that it means something to me.
But
so
can
you
there
making
be
a
a
decision,
mutual understanding?
Huh?
Like, you say you're saying from your perspective, the other party has to understand. Is there going to be
understand that it means something to
you?
Me,
So is there going to be a certain point where you have to understand them, and then there's a mutual consensus, or is it just like you got to understand me? Boom, boom, boom.
No, I mean like I'm bringing this up to you so you can understand that this is something that bothers me.
But are you at any point are you going to understand that? Oh, that didn't occur to me. Let me address it. You know. You see me?
That it didn't occur to me.
Okay.
What's going on, y'all?
So you're saying that there has to be a point where you bring something else to the other party and they're like, okay, this is something that means something to me. You have to understand it. But is there also going to be a point where you're like, okay, I understand that it never occurred to you.
Right.
Are we going to meet in the middle?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, you didn't understand that this meant something to me.
Right.
But you know, to say that, I didn't come from where you come from, or, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't raised how you raised. Right. That's not the point. I brought it to you because it does mean something to me.
Right.
So, because I care about you and I want this to work, that's why I'm bringing it to you to let you know this is something that bothers me. You get what I'm saying?
Got you.
Okay, so
that was,
in the middle.
I ain't scared of you, motherfucker.
I ain't scared of you, motherfucker.
Hey, it's your boy Trell, your local baby daddy.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This Mill, yo.
And if you done tuned in this long, you might as well like, subscribe, comment, and follow us on Instagram at Ego Aside Podcast.
And we're back. So with last segment, we want to give it to our guest, our very special guest / host, Sister Janiyah. What did you want to bring up today on the show?
So the thing I wanted to bring up was I tweeted a couple days ago, and then my tweet basically said, I think a lot of us hold on to and settle in our nasty and ways and bad habits because we don't have anyone calling us out on them. Most of the time we want to be coddled and dislike opposition. So to stroke our egos, the people around us do just that. Wrong answer.
Facts.
How do we feel about that?
How I feel about it is, I mean,
how do we feel?
I feel like I don't survive long around people that don't get in my ass. Like, for example, both of y'all get in my ass probably on the regular. Because I be wilding.
And vice versa.
Yeah, I be wilding sometimes. And I be needing that somebody, like, I take it because it's constructive criticism. I don't take it to heart. I don't be like, oh, no, they on some shit. I might feel like that for probably like 5 seconds. Then I sit back and understand why you're saying it and what it really comes from. And that might be what I needed to hear at that moment. Before I went further down the path of whatever y'all getting in my ass for. Right. So I appreciate constructive criticism for the most part.
That ties into one of my questions. Do you or do you not have yes men in your circle?
Absolutely.
And also, do you unintentionally have yes men in your circle because you don't want to, face the music? You don't want anybody calling you out. You don't want to, face reality.
Absolutely not. Like, for example, like, I could use y'all two. I mean, y'all two are like 2 of my closest friends. You know what I'm saying? But even if we talk about Check, Money, Tay-Man, or Dawn, like, consistently it's like, get in my ass and tell me when I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Telling me I'm wrong and how to do right. It's not just telling me, yo, you fucked up. It's like, you should do this. That's the constructive part of criticism and how they deliver it. Because they're not saying it like with ill intentions or in like an evil way. They telling me,
for sure,
you messing up, you doing this, bro. I know you capable of this. You need to get right this way.
Right.
And yes, man, is just going to be cool whatever you're doing.
Whatever
they
you
just
do,
riding the wave. That's why I don't really rock with too many people for real, because too many people just want to ride your wave and just be cool, and they not
say they know you.
Yeah, and once I peep it, I just be like, oh, I'm good on you.
I think in any form relationship, like any form of a relationship, whether it's intimate, whether it's family, platonic, whatever, I think that if you don't get called out on your wrong or how you are affecting that person, you'll never, that relationship is going to hit a wall. Right? It's not going to grow. It's not going to become better.
My question to you, both of you, and it can be to me, how do you take constructive criticism? Do you feel attacked?
So I'm going to tell you something. Originally, I did not like corrective criticism. I didn't think it existed at a certain point in my life. I thought that it was just people trying to bash me. Like, I just thought that
everybody was against you.
Yeah, you was hating on me. You mad.
Get on.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you mad. I did not take corrective criticism well. And that's one thing that the military did mold into me. Like, I love corrective criticism now. Because I think it's because I'm in a place in my life, or at that time when I learned about it, I grew into a place to where I love to be able to grow.
Okay.
So when I receive corrective criticism, it got to a point to where I needed it, because that means, I can get better.
Right.
And that's how I started looking at it. Because you got to think, I joined the military when I was 19 years old.
Facts.
And now I'm 25. That's a big change in being a man alone. That's a lot of growth that you go through during, these years. So originally, corrective criticism was not something that I took lightly. Like, the fuck is you talking about? Like,
what about you, Nah? Do you take constructive criticism well?
Now I think I take it very well.
Cap.
Jamil, I'm about to say Jamil. We talk so much. I'm not opposed to anything. I think there was a part of my life where I felt like I was super judgmental. I felt like if I wasn't doing it, if I didn't approve, it wasn't right. But they say that it takes for you to go through things to actually understand. And I think it took for me to go through some things that people around me were going through that I hadn't experienced yet. Right. So I was super, super judgmental. And now I look back at it and I'm just like, wow, was I judging that situation? Here I am in it. And they say don't ever judge a situation till you're in it.
Right.
And I've been in those exact predicaments. So when it comes to judgment,
I do have a question.
No.
Are you gonna let me finish?
She gonna finish and then you gonna answer.
When it comes
I gotta answer what?
When it comes to
What's the question? Go, keep going.
When it comes to judgment, I'm far from it. I'm always a opening, listening ear, but I am not a yes man. I'm not gonna sit beside you and let you self-destruct. I'm not gonna act like I'm okay with something that's not okay.
No.
I'm never gonna do that. If you're making the wrong decision, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, girl, that. Oh yeah, that's good. No, I'm not gonna do that.
And it doesn't work out for you.
And my thing is like, who would that benefit? Definitely wouldn't benefit me, and I'm pretty sure it wouldn't benefit anybody in my circle.
Right.
So if you're wrong, and you're dead wrong, I'm gonna let you know.
Right.
What was the question again?
I don't know, Jamil. You tell us.
Oh, can I take it? I feel like I take it.
Oh, for sure.
I take it well sometimes. I got my times. But I feel like so we also have to forget how people deliver constructive criticism and how they perceive if they deliver it.
That's very true.
And I understand it's different weight. Like, for example, somebody that gets in my ass, shout out to Money. You get what I'm saying? My Doug Money, he getting my ass. And back in the G, when we used to get into it, or not just me and him, but just all of us in general, we would step in the box. You know what I mean? Because we wouldn't take constructive criticism well. So it's all about how the delivery. So when people deliver it a certain way, I might feel like, yo, come on, like, what's up with you? Want to step in the box? You know, step in the box, 60 seconds. We gonna throw hands. But I feel like now, of course, times are different. You know, when people are like, I'm saying this because I care about you. I'm saying this because I care about you and I want you to do better, and I'm gonna take it. But certain people, like, if you gonna wild me out, I'm like, oh, all right. Like, come on, yo. Like, what's up, yo? Like, what like we got what's up there? You think I'm saying? But so my question from that is, do y'all feel like y'all deliver constructive criticism well? Because it's two parts to it. It's the delivering and the receiving and the constructive criticism. So how do y'all deliver it?
I'll go first on this one. I'm not always good at it.
What's your method? What's your method? Harsh? Is your method harsh, or take it to give it to them easy? Or
my method is very blunt. A lot of times,
you fucked up. You need to do better.
not like that, but I think sometimes it does come off like I'm being rude. You get what I'm saying? But I think that's more so of, I blame the military for that too as well. Because, you know, when you're dealing with soldiers and stuff, like, you can't.
Side note, they say
you can't sugarcoat it. You gotta be cutthroat.
Side note, they say you give some pretty harsh barracks inspections. I didn't live in your barracks. But that's all I'm saying. I'm not gonna throw no names out there, but they was like, man, so
I didn't say that. That's for
sure. I was
sure.
on the barracks inspection, but keep going with you.
I didn't say it.
But I'm not a bullshitter. So what a lot of people get mistaken with me, right? Because I am laid back and cool, a lot of people try to take advantage of that. You'd have seen it. Yeah. You know, especially within the military, because I am laid back, I'm cool, I'm chill. But when you take me there, I can definitely go there.
It's up.
Like, don't try to play with me like I'm a fool. So when you think about it in that sense, sometimes I can come off a little harsh or a little rude, but it's all love. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still my motherfucker though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still fuck with you. You feel me? But I also have learned how to learn people. I've learned who I can do that with and who kind of needs like the hand on the shoulder, soft spoken. You get what I'm saying? And that's just learning people, dealing with people from all different backgrounds and understanding how they take things, paying attention to how they take things and receive things. So it's just about learning who you're dealing with. So I think I have came a long way as far as that, but I can be very cruel and straightforward.
What about you, Nah?
I agree with Trell. For the most part, you have to know your audience. Because me being, you know, a leader and then having people under me, everybody's not the same. Everybody does not receive everything the same. So I feel like you have to know who you're talking to. You have to know how they receive something. You have to know what they will and will not respond to.
Right.
So I feel like, you know, part of being a leader is knowing your audience.
Right.
You have to know your audience. You have to know who you're talking to. So I have one person that may be receptive to, you know, super hard, super getting in your butt about whatever. And then I have some person that may be, you know, soft. Yeah. They're different.
So I'm going delivering too.
Your audience. So I'm going to be super soft to this person, and I'm going to be whatever they need me to be.
Right.
Because but everybody does not exactly. So I'm not going to sugarcoat what I'm saying, but I'm going to like I said, I'm going to know my audience. And I'm going to cater to whatever they need me to, because I feel like I will want the same in return.
What about you, Mill?
Me, my delivery, I be wild. I feel like it depends what type of mood I am, because you know sometimes it be
that's not fair though.
But it's
not about your mood.
It's about how I feel like I need to deliver to them and how they need to take it. You dig what I'm saying?
Right. So we all just said the same thing.
No,
basically.
No, yeah, we all saying the same thing, but it's real though, because like some people I could be cool with. Bit by boo, you need to do this, but when you don't take it serious as that, then I gotta show you meal, and then I'm gotta be like, you fucked up, do better, you know what I mean? I don't want to do that all the time. Sometimes I'm like, bro, you know, just tap into this, you know, like I know, I've had a soldier before that was a little bit more sensitive to things I said. I can't yell at him like that because I don't want to push
him over the edge.
Right. So I'm just like, bro, you know, do this. You know what I mean? We can send you there. We got you. Yeah. But that's not gonna work for everybody. Some people need tough love and harsh love. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't know.
I remember when I was cutting up when I was younger, my grandma now used to tell my mama, "You need some tough love. That's what you need.
Yeah.
Give them some tough love." That tough love ain't no joke, man. But it is needed a lot of time.
Shout out to Naya, yo. We gonna wrap it up, man. Shout out to Naya. She was a little bit nervous before she came on.
Yes,
you know what I'm
indeed,
saying?
man.
But she did a good job. She did a good job.
She good at that.
As usual, shout out to Fayetteville Podcast Studios and our engineer, Toya. Thank you, Toya. You got anything to say real quick, Toya?
Thank y'all for tuning in.
There we go.
Yes, indeed. Show the suit.
And shout out. Oh, Spook Who Sat by the Door. If you didn't tap into it. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle.
Oh yeah. Also, it's on YouTube too. If you want to watch a visual,
Definitely on
to
YouTube.
understand.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. This is Ego Aside. I'm Trell, your local baby daddy.
This Mill.
Hey, y'all be blessed, man. Less stress.
And I'm Naya.
And we out.